Hey, welcome to our open house 2024. It's August 1st and we are looking at some really great breeding from Syngenta. These are Petunia Deco Max Pink. And what's so great about them is they flower and grow extremely fast, have a nice trailing habit, or if it was in the landscape, a prostrate habit, and we really fill up space fast. So we're looking at one of these great big Garcia towers. That's the name of the planter that these petunias are in. And sometimes here at DS Cold Growers we use a lot of new material, but when there's something tried and true like these wild plum from Suntory, they're still great even though they've been around for a number of years. They really fill up these planters so full and so well, and they're so healthy. Here's a new gazania called Sun Carpet, and you can see it's just full of flowers, and in the sun, it just loves the sun. Thunbergia. This was only planted about 8 weeks ago. It's gone crazy. You can see how full it is. It's got a yellow and an orange variety in here. They're just such a good, fast-growing product for our customers. So here we are in front of a nice bed of Petunia Deco Max Pink again. But what I want to really show you is this Eupatorium, such a fast-growing component plant. And it's not new, it's just new for us. We haven't had it before this year. Eupatorium. We're in front of Treasure Island sweet potatoes, so we have the benefit of all this nice growth. It's quite vigorous and nice. And besides that, because they were bred at the Louisiana State University, they've been bred to have different colors inside the roots. So we have some purple and orange, just different colors. And the other benefit is the fact that all these sweet potatoes are eaten quite often in Asia. On the leaves themselves are sauteed. They make a very nutritional meal, I'm told, and we have some nutritional data if anyone's interested. Nice. This may look like a grass, a variegated grass, but it's really a chlorophytum, otherwise known as spider plants. So you can see the flowers are very similar to what we normally think of as a spider plant, but these don't produce pups. They just divide and divide to make these clumps, as you see, and are a great accent plant for pots like this, and they're in full sun. Another great variety that's not new is Begonia Dragonwing Red. It's the most popular of the dragon wings, and I highlight it because it's one of those begonias that can take sun or shade. The Westhoff Crazy Tunia line offers some real interest to different growers, and we found that this Lighthouse Pink has been a really good performer this year, as well as the Cosmic group. So we're looking at some big patio Gerbera from Hilverda Florist, and these are tough to beat. They got absolutely huge, beautiful flowers. And at the same time, the most garden-friendly types are the Garvinias, and you can see that Garvinia breeding has produced larger and larger flowers, so they put on quite a show, and they'll keep blooming all summer. The beauty of this banana, or Musa, is that it was in a small pot about this size last year at this time. We just overwintered it in the back of a greenhouse, and what a monster we got for this year. We're now offering the Streptocarpus Pretty Turtle as a young plant. So here's a plant in a 6-inch pot or 15-centimeter pot. Here's how it looked about a month ago. Okay, but then it's just as pretty in a smaller pot, and as a young plant it takes about 6 weeks to get to be about this size. Flowers often come in the fall, but it's really sold for its great foliage, and it is in the African violet family. We concentrate on Rex begonias here. We have many different varieties. This one looks at first like the old Iron Cross, but you notice it has this brown rim around the edge, and not only does that make it a little special, but as a propagator and a finish grower, this variety will grow much easier and faster than the older style Iron Cross. In my right hand, I've got a begonia maculata, quite a large one with the flowers, and that's been quite popular for the last few years. We also have the double dot that we brought on this past year, halfway through the season, and it's got a much different habit than the original maculata type. So on top of this, we have black forest that has a little more red in the leaves, and a few other begonias to add to this new fad in more cane type begonias. We now offer epiphyllum as young plants. You can see the assortment. There's about 4 different varieties available. So we now have Helleborus 2 times a year. We have them in a smaller plug in the spring for those people who want to keep the full cycle and grow them from spring all the way through to the following year and get a really full plant. And then for those who are in a hot area, it might be best to get some of these in this 32 count tray, and then you could pot them in the fall to be overwintered for the following spring. Citronella has turned into a good item. We produce a lot of cuttings from these each winter, and these are stock plants of the real citronella that are so difficult to ship as cuttings, but we keep our own stock plants, mother plants, so that we can make a nice cutting and stick them right away. This year we're offering what we call kits, and that means we will not stick all these varieties in one cell. We will stick them on their own schedule in separate cells and then provide them to the customer as a kit so that they will have these different components ready to pot all at the same time. This year we've jumped in with Delospermum. We've got 3 different series here. We have these very small sun diamonds types that are great for normal pots or small planters. We've got Wheels of Wonder, which get much bigger. And we've also got Delospermum Desert Dancers, which have a nice purple flower. It's not very sunny today. They haven't opened completely. And in the spring, the foliage is a deep purple, and the foliage is one of the outstanding features of this plant. We're looking at a new eucalyptus for us anyway, and this is blue gum. And blue gum happens to be a larger foliage variety, and we picked it because of the intense blueness, I'll call it, of the foliage. Here's a sampling of some of the succulents we offer. Many of these are available as straight varieties, and they're also available as collections, as young plants. Here's a representation of many of the cactus that we carry that are available as young plants, and they're typically sold as a collection. So we're looking at Dischidia, D-I-S-C-H-I-D-I-A, Dischidia, and this is new for us also. You can see the different types of leaves. They're in the Hoya family, and they like to be dry. They like to be drier than Hoyas. Think of them as a succulent. And we will be offering trays of 25, and there are 3 plants in every cell. So something else this year, instead of buying Hoyas as a collection, we have some nice special varieties such as this parasitical splash, and this is available in 25 count increments. So you only need 25, but you can buy thousands if you want, and every cell has 2 plants in them, so you can fill out your pots faster. Many people know about Aphelandra with the yellow flower. Well, this is really cool. This is Aphelandra whitewash. Look how white it is, isn't that cool? So whether you have a yellow flower or not, it makes a really cool houseplant. So here's some bay. You know, it's Laurus. Bay typically comes from seed. It's a long crop. These are quite popular, so this season we'll have bay as young plants. We'll be holding them somewhat cool and getting them bulked up for the winter. Aren't these great? This is Syngenta breeding from cuttings. Unlike their seed-grown Sunfidia, this Sunfidia double is all produced from cuttings for great uniformity, and they're easy to grow. So we're adding a few more Apicia to our list this year as liners. So you can see here's 2 varieties. We'll have at least 3 varieties this year, and they could be purchased as a collection of young plants. And stay? Can you stay? Okay. Every year the Canna Canova series gets larger. This year is no exception with the addition of Canna Gold Leopard. Beautiful touches on the leaves, beautiful accents, easy to grow.